llamo Travis Terrell. Bienvenidos. We are live-o. Hold on, I got my ocelot. Got to get on there.
Oh,
Like my ocelot this morning.
yeah, looks nice.
What truck stop did you acquire that from?
Gonna be completely honest with everyone. No idea where this shirt came from. Literally just cleaning up around the house. Getting my life in order.
Endangered Species, Costa Rica.
Now,
Did you get that on that Tom Joyner cruise?
possibly.
Hmm.
But I didn't buy a shirt. But this would be a kind of shirt I would buy on vacation. One more time. Look at that. Isn't he adorable?
Meow. We'll look into that and more throughout the show today. We've got the Great American Race on tap. We're live from Midcoast Studio in Grand Center, St. Louis, Missouri. Check out midcoast.media for more information. Big thanks to Tech Electronics for making things possible with the gear we have. We've got a Behringer. It's doing well for us.
Very good.
We're going to get into it. It's Monday. We had the weekend. Lots to go for. But first, let's say hello to Chris Gardner. Hello, Chris.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm loosening up my knees.
What happened?
They're a little stiff this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you been rehabbing it?
I've been doing better.
That's an official no.
Well, I mean, I've been doing stuff
Okay.
like walking differently.
That's like Travis dominating his diet with
Right.
half a Firehouse
Exactly.
sub.
Oh, that's
Exactly.
a fair analogy.
That is a very good one.
But I'm doing something different.
Okay.
So it's all relative. So, and even like when I go to the bus in the morning, I'm doing high knees at times as I'm walking down the street.
Okay.
I mean, how high are your knees?
I can put the hand out and do the, touch the
Well,
hand. to
I
the
can
knee.
put my hand. I mean,
No, but I'm keeping it. I'm getting them up.
You're
I'm
getting them up. Okay.
I was doing it at Shavitz Arena last night.
Look, go at your pace. We just want you to get better.
I just want to be able to walk.
You will. At the
And
pace
even-
in which you're going, you'll walk eventually.
And even when I'm walking, I'm consciously thinking at times about straightening my leg more to make sure I'm not favoring them. You know what I mean? Like to kind of bend them a little. So I'm actually trying to straighten them while I walk some.
Reason
just
being-
to kind of like almost hyperextended in a way.
You've taught your body not to trust the strength of your legs, so that's why you need to do more strength training.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Okay. I just want you to get better. That's all.
I appreciate that.
The
thank
holidays
you.
are coming up. I know Thanksgiving and Christmas. You're going to do a lot of traveling. Got to see a lot of family, right?
I will travel. So
You got
I
to see that
consider
beautiful
it
niece of
traveling.
yours, right? You going to see that beautiful niece this holiday?
Moscow Mills is a little bit away for me. It's out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
It's out of my comfort zone.
But if she see Uncle Guardsy,
Yeah.
you don't want to have her run up one day, try to jump on you, and your legs
Yeah.
collapse. You want your knee to go out.
I gotta figure out what lullaby I'm gonna sing to her
Oh,
next.
please don't do the creep. Please don't.
Creep was a great start, I
No,
thought.
I think you're probably.
Except Grandma ran away with her at
Yeah,
that point.
I would imagine Grandma.
when
That'll
I got
happen.
to a certain point.
Grandma Evans, smart woman.
Good morning, Walnuts.
There it is. Put the nuts on the wall, Chris.
just did it.
There you go.
There you go. There it is. Haven't done that in a while.
Now he goes.
Yeah, I wish we
Look at
would.
him. Look at him. He can't handle it.
Now do this one, Travis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your move right there.
Ay, ay, ay.
Santa Maria.
How are
hey,
you?
what is with you starting the show in Spanish here like the last 3 times now?
Yeah,
I-
something's. There's
I won't
always a
even say
reason.
Spanish because that would be offensive to those that speak Spanish.
I think it's important that as we grow, I don't know if you knew this now, but we have a YouTube channel. I want to.
Oh, the Midcoast channel
Yes.
on YouTube. yeah.
Very much. And I want.
We're
the-
live streaming there now.
Yes,
too.
we are. And I know YouTube, I don't know if you guys know this, is international. So
Like you.
Very much like me.
So they're like an international screenwriter.
Yes.
Like you.
Well, they could be international a lot of things, but I
Yeah.
want to make sure my language is ready to adapt to some of our new
Oh, really?
audience
Do you know
members.
other languages?
I do. Oui.
And that would be?
That would be French for word.
Oh,
So
I didn't realize
I'm
that.
going to
was
try
slang.
to add it into the show because that way when we do our descriptors, we can say now available in Spanish. And that will attract another pool of potential YouTube watchers. I don't know if you knew this, Gardner, but you are now an influencer.
A YouTube influencer?
You are an influencer.
I'm not going to tell my dad that.
Oh boy.
My dad would be probably very disappointed.
Can you
Ooh,
please just do it?
I don't want to
Tell
tell
him.
my dad that.
Can we tell him and then Sean puts like a
I have
GoPro on?
I
You
have
guys
a
have a
good
conversation
relationship
with
with my father.
him. You think he'll look down on you?
I don't think he'd be happy.
Mm.
He might not look down on me. He might tell his
Which will
he might
bring
not
him-
tell his coworkers about me.
Which would make him sad? You off the wagon, or
Off the wagon.
or the influencer? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, that'd
All
be
right,
Because
good.
that creates problems for a whole lot of people.
Okay, all right, cool. All right. Just providing perspective. So yeah, Chris, we're influencers now.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's what we are.
Well, if you get a chance, I'll drop that link in the comments of this on Facebook. We're very
Gonna-
excited to have you subscribe on YouTube. What's that?
Gonna influence that ass.
Yes,
Okay.
there you go.
Yes.
He's already ready. I subscribed to Midcoast channel, and it sends you show updates.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. Did we do that, or does it do it on its own?
I am not the one who sets everything up with this.
Okay.
We have a group effort going on. So
Yes, we do.
I don't know some of the details.
Okay. Well, I wasn't sure.
I don't understand the algorithms.
I don't even get me started. I don't-
Anytime you say algorithm, you can it can skirt you away from responsibility, or it can make you sound authoritative.
Yeah.
Be like, well, I've been tinkering with the algorithms. Like, ooh, knows what he's saying.
I'm learning some things because Beth Hoops here in the office has been kind enough to do so.
Publicist extraordinaire, Beth Hoops.
And she nerds out and geeks out on this kinds of stuff.
She does. She's really into it. She's like almost has it down to like a word science. Like it's just very.
she has, like,
she
programs
breaks
that
it down for you. And you're
show
just like,
you
oh.
Analytics of things and why certain things work and
It's
why
almost
they don't.
it's almost like it's a study in human behavior too.
Oh, most certainly is. It's sociology.
Yeah. Very fascinating stuff. I've really enjoyed it. I've been sort of kind of backdoor hooked to social media again.
Uh-oh.
Because I was off the wagon, of course, with Twitter, and I still
Speaking
haven't,
of
I haven't
addictions,
been on Twitter in almost 2 months.
I
you believe
noticed
that?
the other day.
is your
almost
life,
2
is your
months.
life better for it?
A little bit. I don't know percentage-wise. I would say it's a little bit around 5.
Do you feel like
5 to
you
10%.
Do you feel like you formed some of your own opinions on things?
Yes. I no longer borrow 98% of the opinions on Twitter.
And that's easy to do. You
It's
start
so
looking
weird
at
now. I don't know what to do when like social or political topics. I'm like, what shirt did they have on? I don't have a lot to contribute to the conversation anymore.
Uh-huh.
Nevertheless,
Well, you
I am
could read
absolutely-
articles.
Well, what was it, 1999? Relax. I though,
Okay.
no, yeah, that's no big deal.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah. No big deal. Yeah,
I do miss social media,
I know.
but
That's why I like to show you little bits and pieces from time.
you do. You're great.
Or I catch you looking over my shoulder. That's what's that? What's going on,
I
Gardner?
just does a little article. I don't miss
what's
it.
going on Twitter there?
I like
Sound like O.J. Simpson, kind of.
Hmm.
Hey, Twitter world.
I like IG though. I'm having a lot of fun with IG, and I'm having a lot of fun with YouTube. So,
Okay.
so I'm enjoying the journey so far.
I had a big Twitter weekend for one particular
Oh,
thing.
What happened?
I got unblocked by someone.
Congratulations.
I'm going to. Can I take a guess?
Yeah,
Frank Cusimano,
correct.
a good friend, Frank Cusimano.
Who?
Frank Cusimano.
KSDK, NBC affiliate.
Yeah, the sports director over there.
Mm.
He decided to unblock me. I convinced him at the Billikens game last night. That,
What led to this?
We were chatting, and I believe it was my offer of hand lotion to him that led to this, because I was kind enough to offer my hand lotion that has a nice lavender and aloe in it. And I was like,
You're a
"Frank,
lotion guy.
I'm a lotion. I gotta be, because I'm a smoker, but I like to wash my hands after I smoke,
Oh, okay.
so I try not to smell like smoke completely.
Got it.
And so since I do that in this weather, chapping is going to be an issue.
It certainly is.
So I have to be cognizant of that. So I offered Frank some lotion, and then he declined. I offered again, he declined again, and then I finally said, "Hey, when are you going to unblock me?" And he's like, "Well, I'll do it now. I'll do it now." and then he had to ask someone
Sure.
next to him to show him how to do it,
That'll
which is
happen.
probably why I've remained blocked for so long. And so he's like pulling up my account. He's like, okay, what's the first thing you got, just to make sure I got you, what's the first thing you tweeted lately? And I'm like, well, I don't even know. And I mean, he's like, was it a retweet? And I go, it could be. What is it? He's like, it's someone that put Boomhauer's voice to Jim Jordan. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And then he rolled his eyes, and he goes, we're going to do a week probationary period.
Oh boy.
And I go, well, we'll see how it goes.
Okay,
don't
Frank Cusimano has given you a 1-week probationary
I
period
don't
on
think
Yeah.
it's gonna last.
So some folks apparently are wondering what the topic is that's going to get me blocked again.
It's week 2 of impeachment week. So there will be something that will jump out that will do it. I'm surprised you haven't retweeted John Hamm on SNL.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he was part of the cold open. He was one of the characters. Who was the big the Bill Taylor? Was he the ambassador
Yeah.
from a week? That's who John Hamm played.
Oh,
Bill
okay.
Taylor in the cold open. So it was very.
I'll have to watch that later.
Yeah, so you're gonna retweet something like that, or Frank, you're just gonna go to Frank's page like on a Wednesday morning. Block. Sorry,
I hope he at least texts me to let me know he's blocked me again.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think it works that way.
Oh.
Good weekend though, huh? Did you get some?
Oh boy.
Yeah, it was a real big weekend. Huge. Went on a walk. My legs are sore.
Jesus.
That
Are
was
we all
my
breaking
weekend.
down?
It's all over.
Are we all just breaking down now?
Yeah.
What is happening to us?
We do have a question from the Triangle Assassin. Isn't it easier to just, I don't know, not smoke?
No, not at
He's
all.
got nothing left.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
What are you, my grandma? That's what my grandma, except my grandma says it in a different way. When are you going to stop smoking? Just stop it already. I can smell it. And then it just goes into me trying to deflect. Because I let her yell at me, because she deserves it.
Mm-hmm. She's earned it.
She's been through it.
Hmm.
Yeah. She's had a life. People that age have been through stuff. So I allow them certain, room to do what they need to do at times.
You should really try to ease into the CBD. Maybe that will wane you off the cigarette.
But I have no motivation to stop smoking.
To maybe have Grandma Evans no longer yell at you.
I'm
That's a pretty
I've
motivating
been
factor.
yelled at by women my entire life.
You can stop that if you like.
I'm used to it.
You don't have to be yelled
I'm
at.
desensitized.
Okay. You can
Remember, I was
unsensitize.
ungroundable as a child.
I know. Don't say that. And please don't say that around black women, because they take pride in punishing kids.
Do they?
That's the thing. That's the thing. They look. You can act up. Just don't act up around them. If you want to go act up somewhere else, so be it. But don't act up
I
around
kind of
them.
want to test this out now.
I'm just saying because black women ain't got time for that shit.
Okay.
They really don't. I'm
That's
just telling
fine.
you.
What about-
Arnez
about
J
some-
was talking about it this weekend. Had an opportunity to see him
Oh,
in
did you go see
Helium
him
on
Saturday
Saturday.
night?
Yeah, great performance. Just a ton of energy
That
and
guy sold out. Did he ended
he
up selling out every show.
I think he sold out the entire weekend, and he had people in the aisle. Just people couldn't breathe. People had the old church fans out. They were sweating because they were laughing so hard.
That means it's good if the church fans are
The
out.
church
right?
fans came out. Like I looked around Helium, and you just saw about 15,
A
20
lot
of
of
those
Kirkwood
bad boys.
moms there. Wasn't it all black crowd?
It was a U City moms.
They
U
were
City
mothers.
Definitely a
From
lot of
the St. Louis
that.
area. Man, all black crowds rule. It's so
It's
much
such an
fun to see a
experience.
show.
It's
Like,
such an
oh
experience.
my gosh, I could never express myself like that.
It is,
ever.
and it's
Well,
one of
it
those.
seems like they're there to have fun. And
Yeah,
enjoy
they are. They
themselves.
really
yeah,
are. And
million
people were.
percent.
And you're exactly right. I don't know what it is about the history and the culture of the Black Comedy Club, but man, it's something special
Yeah.
when you get a group of people because
That are there to enjoy themselves.
and then look, that's a tough crowd. Like you boy, they ain't no polite laughter in a black crowd. Like right. That's 2 in a row, nigga. You better roll up. Hold on now.
Oh, there
you
it
got
was.
got
He
one
laughed
more.
harder
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you used the
Say, hold on now.
Good show,
I'll
though.
give you
Thought it
one
was
more
funnier.
joke. But no, it was a great
Yeah,
show.
I recommend if you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch it. He hung out with us for like 50 minutes.
He did.
It was a
really
good
did.
time.
I actually have a clip from that.
Oh, let's see it.
It's a bit of an extended clip. At one point, he was talking about, like, I guess, if he's watching a football game or something, how it's hard to hear what's going on around him.
Right.
That includes, your wife or your significant other. Women in general are trying to talk to you during that time frame. And conversation went from there. So here's a little bit of that, gentlemen.
We don't hear you.
Right.
We don't.
Hmm.
Am I lying?
No, unless you're in the kitchen. Am I
Man,
right?
am I lying?
No, I'm not high-fiving that.
Now let's what?
I said unless you're in the kitchen.
Doing what?
Doing women stuff in the kitchen.
Whoa,
See,
whoa,
Travis,
whoa,
see, no, no,
Arnaz
that
and
was
I
where
were
we're going.
we were trying to have a
we're not
conversation.
involved in that one.
He's an artist. He's here to promote
What
his
you mean
comedy.
doing? What's a woman thing?
Yeah,
Just,
like writing her
Ladies,
dissertation.
don't say
Yeah.
nothing. I got y'all.
Yeah.
I got you on this
Oh,
one.
would she be writing her dissertation for her
what-
doctorate coming up?
Yeah, man, what's going
How
on?
does
What's
this
a
work?
woman thing in the
What's
kitchen?
she
What are you
doing?
saying?
Is that where this works out? I mean, is
She
this-
would. I don't.
Because I cook
I would-
very well.
yeah.
She maybe-
Is the kitchen where she works on
I
her
wear
car?
an apron. I wear an apron and booty shorts.
Oh, okay,
now,
wait,
now
no,
what?
no.
You got those? I sent them.
What?
I wear. Hello,
This is a
We're done here.
Mike.
Mike, check.
hang on.
Mic check.
Got producer.
Travis, it's 1952.
I like this.
Woman things, Travis.
I just-
really?
This is where it's at.
I
This is
didn't
what it's come to.
Ladies, I speak the truth. Travis,
Wait a minute.
I don't know what's going on with him.
Wait, I didn't.
I don't know if
Travis
he's having a
Jeremy
bad
Tristram.
night at home. I don't know if his mama said this is the way things got to be.
Keep a knife out of his
I
hand.
don't know if he's singing. I don't know if he sings old Negro spirituals.
That's not
How would
true.
that
I
go?
don't know, mama. He's a black boy doing black boy
That's not
things.
true. That was that.
I don't know. I just don't know. What in the what?
I didn't.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Wash the hate out with some Snappy Bigman coffee.
Look,
It's delicious coffee. Just
I
saying.
take responsibility for that, and here's why. I just think right now, it's just so much toxicness in the air when it comes to our discourse that it's seeped into my pores, my skin, and I began to behave like some of these bigots and sexists that you often see on TV.
Your
I mean,
toxic masculinity came out.
and then it did, and I didn't. It was Friday. I had been like on 5-6 cup of coffee at that point. Mr. Arnaz J came in around noon, and everybody knows in the office that's my nap time. So I didn't have my proper nap, and that's what you saw on that video. All those views that was expressed by that Travis does not reflect Travis today, nor this company, or my colleagues. May God bless you, and God bless America.
Wow. This is well said.
Well, at least you apologized.
You can delete that now. You can delete that video.
Should we tweet that?
No, there's no need to.
You're not on Twitter anyway. It doesn't matter,
I
Travis.
wish you wouldn't do that.
God bless Gateway Powder Coating as well.
GPC?
Yeah, you know me. GatewayPowderCoat.com for more information. Travis, if you need to, I don't know, maybe update your point of view, Gateway Powder Coating can get it looking just right with their ovens. They'll make sure everything looks wonderful. It'll last longer than paint. Make sure you take anything metal that needs painted to go get powder coated. GatewayPowderCoat.com for more information. Say hello to Mark and the gang, as they've supported us for several years now. So make sure you're on board with them. We mentioned the weekend. Go ahead, Trev.
No, I was just going to say something happened this weekend
What's that?
that was triggering to me mainly because I find myself thinking about you too. And it is bothering, trust me. But I'll be going through life normally, and then something will come up, and I'll go, you know who will love that?
Oh.
Denman.
Oh.
Gartsy. And it freaks me out. But then I also go, they probably already know about it. I ain't gonna even try to reach out to them to talk to them about it because I know they already know because that's how we work mentally, even when we aren't in the same room together. So I saw a story, and I was like, I gotta pass on this story. I gotta send it to my man. And then I said, nope. I believe my man's probably already ahead of the curve. He's probably already read the story. And that was the story about your hero, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
So what's happening
Oh
here?
wait, hold on. I'm
Get-
over Nick. Hold on. Let's
Oh
do
my
this
God,
again.
you're his third eye.
Ah,
There
there
it
we go. There we go.
Nicolas Cage and talks to star as Nicolas Cage and melodrama, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That is awesome.
Yes, it most certainly
Is this
The title alone is brilliant.
is this along the lines of that Van Damme the JCVD movie? Like what's happening here?
This is like being John Malkovich
Yeah,
with a Nick Cage twist,
It's
and
Nick
it's
Cage.
exactly what I wanted.
playing Nick Cage in a movie about Nick Cage.
Oh boy.
This title is just, I don't know, it just
The,
oozes with brilliance. This may be the best
Read
part.
it again. What's the title again?
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Yeah, that's fucking great.
About Nicolas Cage, starring Nicolas Cage. That is like, can you give a movie picture of the year simply based off the title
I
and
know.
premise alone?
I know.
Like, I don't even need to see the first trailer. I'm already ready to buy tickets, baby.
How am I supposed to not like build this up or hype this up in my own mind? And I hate doing that because that sets you up for failure and a letdown in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've often referenced this. I try not to do this with movies because I do it to myself, and I get, I'll find like something small and like lock into that, and that'll bring down my enjoyment of what
Right.
was a pretty decent film. The last time I can remember where I built something up in my own mind and hyped it up in my own mind and it completely lived up to everything I wanted was Anchorman.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw that premise when it came out, and I'm like,
Oh boy.
this is
Gold.
this is what I like.
Yeah.
And so
As opposed to like Wedding Crashers, which the title was very confusing, and-
yes.
right?
But like
Sorry, I just had to throw that intellectual
No, please do.
juxtaposition out there.
so nice you. See, we're a juxtaposition show now.
Uh-huh.
I got yelled at for using that on the show once, and now we're becoming the show that uses juxtaposition.
Such a
Thank
smart
you.
show. It's like Brian Hoffman produces this now.
We're like Frasier.
Guy's like overrated. But in my mind, I had built Anchorman up to be something that actually, when I went to go see it, I was like, God damn it, I've done this again. And I was worried that it wasn't going to live up because I knew it was going to be my fault. Like it was probably just going to be, I've done something in my own head to make it fail in my own mind. And it didn't.
Right.
But I have done that since then, so I try to not do that. But this is something that I fear that I might again.
Oh my God.
Because just the premise.
Can I read you
and-
some of it, man? It is
Yeah.
just so delicious,
Go ahead,
Chris.
please.
Cage would star as Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
The character is desperate to get a role in a new Quentin Tarantino movie, while also dealing with a strained relationship with his teenage daughter. He also occasionally talks to an egotistical 1990s version of himself, who rides him for making too many crappy movies and for not being a star anymore. Like, how do you not
Who's directing this?
like?
Probably
Please say
Nicolas
Nick
Cage.
that would have been even better. The script comes from Tom Gormican and Kevin Eden. Gormican is attached to direct. I don't know these gentlemen. I'll be looking up their IMDb during our next break. But this is apparently it was a huge negotiate. Like it was, I guess, a lot of studios wanted to jump on this.
Really?
HBO Max and Paramount. Lionsgate is the one that won in its final negotiations. Like that is, this is like, look, you know Daddy is an international screenwriter.
Sure.
This is one I wish I had come up
Yeah.
with. This is the one. This is the ticket. This is gonna be fun. Even
I'm
if it's
afraid-
bad, it's still gonna be a Nick Cage movie and
It
a Nick
can't-
Cage, so it can't technically be bad.
I need it not to make too much money, though. because I still need Nick Cage to
To
need
be-
money so
yeah.
that we can get National Treasure 3.
This is also true.
So,
Or that's how we get National Treasure 3. Maybe
Okay.
this unlocks it.
well,
How can you not
Got a
do
lot
it?
of options here.
Got a lot. This is beautiful.
there's a lot to digest here.
This is job well
But
done.
I mean, what you're saying there, that part about him occasionally talking to an egotistical '90s version of himself.
Right.
Oh yes.
I mean, even an unskilled writer, I feel like, could give you decent dialogue between Nick Cage and his former self, right?
I would
You just
think
kind
so.
of just bring up his IMDb and then you start in on it.
Yeah, go back and watch a few roles. That's all you have to do. There's plenty out there to view. Extensive. He's been in a lot of things. Maybe start with Wicker Man.
He's had
Is
some.
that where it
he's-
all started
I
going
don't
wrong?
know.
He's had some. He's had
I
a
thought-
couple of fun ones in the last few years, though.
I thought Ghost
Yeah.
Rider might have broke the.
I just love that he doesn't care and just makes movie after movie after movie.
This is so brilliant.
Hey, it's a movie.
This
Let me
is
make
what
it.
This is what it was all leading up to. He began. Look,
Do you think he's
the
been
brilliant
okey
is,
doking us?
I think there was a moment.
What if?
Where he came to the crossroad where he got hit with the IRS, right?
Yeah.
He had all those castles. He had to give some of them back. And so, what if he was like, I know the best way out of this?
To steal the Declaration of Independence.
Well,
no.
not specifically. Not
Okay.
yet, at least. But what he did was like, I'm just going to set up a series of bad movies just so I can get to my masterpiece.
That's meta.
That is very meta. What if he brings his audience back down with him and then exceeds those expectations? What if this is what Nick Cage has been playing us for all along? Because after all those great roles, all those great classic films, he kind of nosedive.
Yeah.
What if this way was like, nah, I've been Andy Kaufman, you motherfuckers, this entire time, son. Holla at your
Yeah.
boy.
You saw 8mm.
Yeah, this is the long play by Nick Cage. This is going to make him one of the greatest actors in the history of a generation.
Now,
I
He
came out
wins
swinging with Raising Arizona.
Yes.
Look out.
No doubt. This is it. And this is how,
And I'll confuse. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, then he wraps it all up because he'll get the Academy Award, right? This time he'll have his Academy Award. And then he finally gets to play Superman. That's what it's all about the entire day. Nick Cage wanting to play Superman. This gets him back to playing. So now you got
how
an
he
Academy
did it.
Award winner Nick Cage as Superman.
as long as I get a National Treasure 3, that's all I really care
It's
about.
very possible. He's going to
And
be
you're
big.
welcome, John Voight.
This is what's going to happen. This movie, when it comes out, he will be biggest star on the planet again. I guarantee you.
We're there. Maybe that'll happen.
Think about it. Because what is when it's come out? Probably 2021.
Yeah.
Trump's going to go into his second term. People are going to be massively depressed, and they're going to need a hero. Who better to save us from this
Then Nick Cage.
than Nick Cage? It's setting
That's
up
hard to
perfectly.
argue,
This is
Travis.
setting up perfectly. Think about it. You got all these candidates all of a sudden jumping back into the race. This was all Nick Cage's plan the entire time, baby. Boop. Alt-right, he created it.
To
The
get
Russians,
to this point.
they were involved.
How about
Nick Cage,
how about we
genius.
cut loose this Thursday at Happiest Hour? What do you think about that,
Okay,
Gardner?
all right. What do you have?
While you're
Are you doing
contemplating
Nick Cage stuff?
Nick Cage stuff, maybe we'll hear some Nick Cage humor. Sophie's this Thursday. Happiest Hour comedy series. We'll have some great comics on deck. Get there early. Comedy starts right after 6 o'clock. Always free. Always a good time right here in Grand Center at Sophie's Cocktail Lounge every Thursday. And you know who presents it?
Who is that, Chris?
Jack Daniels, Tennessee Whiskey. They work
Chris,
with
when
us.
I wake up in the morning, that's
No,
the first thing I drink.
They work with us to make sure that you have a good time. That's Jack Daniels Tennessee Whiskey presenting Happiest Hour each and every week, and then Schlafly specials as well during the show. Check it out. Come see Eric and us this Thursday for Happiest Hour. So congratulations on this film, Gardner. That's a
Yeah,
big-
this is
big
probably
one.
going to be his tour de force. This is. It's hard to. I marinated on it over the weekend.
I spent a significant amount of my weekend thinking
I
about
did
this.
think about it some,
Of course.
and I'm upset that I did because, like I said, I don't want to build it up. But I see that. Remember the interview we were talking about that he did? He did a Q&A recently. Was it several months ago now? And I can't even remember what magazine it was, or was it Vulture, Variety, or something like that.
Something like that.
But he talked about a legit quest for the Holy Grail. What if all along this is his Holy Grail?
This is brilliant.
This is his quest. And the culmination of this journey ends with this Nicolas Cage vehicle being made and us viewing it, and thus the Holy Grail. That's what I'm thinking. I think that's very logical.
I think it's sound.
I think it's hard to poke holes in that theory.
Huge strategic son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Cage, you
He's
old
done it again.
dog. Old dog. I knew it, man.
See, because the problem is he'll throw in these performances in between these crappy movies where you're like, was The Weatherman really good?
It was
or
good.
Am I being tricked by a Nicolas Cage conundrum? What's happening here? Wait a second. What was the movie where he played the dad of the girl Kick-Ass? Did you see
Yeah,
Kick-Ass?
Kick-Ass. He was gonna kick ass.
Oh my gosh.
That
He was
very good.
amazing. He
And
was
then
so
did
good.
He did a horror film about a year ago called Mandy. That's really good. And another satire horror film called Mom and Dad. That was very good as well. Like, but the whole Sneak Thieves really solid
See,
performances.
that's why it pays to be a hard worker in the industry and just make every movie you can.
That's a good point.
Because some of the roles stick, some of them don't.
He's Nick Cage, you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's really, like, I wouldn't say he's immune to box office failure, but it almost emboldens him. Like most people, you know, a couple bombs,
Oh,
they
it
go away
failed.
for a little bit.
Right. Oh, I'll just go make another movie.
J-Law, Jennifer Lawrence, recently. Couple bombs. She even admitted it recently. I'm going to take some steps back. Let me go get married. Let me actually kind of let people forget about me.
He's so passionate.
He loves
about
it so
his
much,
work.
he doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's right back
keeps
at it.
making. That should be admired.
I look, if you can work, do it, man. A lot of people who would kill for the opportunities that Nicolas Cage continues to get. And he's a talented actor. Nobody's taking that away from him. But the guy will make a movie. The guy does not say no. Do you think it's all financial?
I'm sure some of it is.
He does like 3 or 4 a year, and they're always at Redbox.
He's got a secret deal with Redbox. The good people at Redbox. They identified him. They're like, listen, we're not going to admit this. You're our biggest revenue
I
driver.
would not doubt it.
But we need you to not admit it. People still keep watching these. It's
Is there
almost
a way
a
to
form of
look
hate
that up?
watching.
Is there a way to look up who is the biggest actor or actress generator revenue-wise for Redbox?
I mean, I'm sure.
I'm sure that number has to exist. It has to be Nick Cage.
You go to their
Nick
Facebook
Cage or Gene
page,
Hackman?
He's the.
Like, Gene Hackman still makes movies? Why is he in that?
He does.
I don't think so.
thought he
I'm just-
retired.
I
Yeah.
probably did. No, though there is, if it's not him, it's a black actor.
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart
Kevin
does
Hart
appear
is
in a bunch of weird
tireless.
movies. Yeah.
That's why we respect guys like Kevin Hart and Nick Cage, because they just keep working.
Danny Glover. Danny Glover's in a lot of, like, he's always like the bad government guy. I don't know when he just started taking those roles.
He was a good guy in the Royal Tenenbaums.
He was.
I liked him in that. His beard looks sharp in that, too.
We've covered a lot so far. I'll say that much.
I gotta tell you, a black man with a nice gray beard looks sharp.
Thank you.
Very sharp.
Danny Trejo takes the same approach. He's talked about it in
Yeah.
interviews. He takes almost every job just because he wants money for his family. That's why he's the Mexican with the chest tattoo in literally every movie that needs one.
And I guess that
I'm not mad about that. That's a Snoop Dogg approach.
know?
I mean, it seems like Danny Trejo was a hustler before he became an actor.
He was he was in a penitentiary.
Yeah, so I feel like Danny Trejo's like, no, I should probably be dead in the worst
it's
way
like-
possible. If someone wants to pay me 6 figures a movie, maybe sometimes 7 figures a movie,
So
to
what?
just
So what if I have to do it alongside an animatronic cat?
no problem.
Right.
And it's probably the shoot's probably a week, 2 weeks. Get about, like I said, $500,000. Yeah, if I'm Danny Trejo, that's probably what I'm
I
doing.
just pictured Danny Trejo now, like as the voice of some animated character.
No
in
doubt.
A
How would he
Disney
sound?
Movie. I don't know, but like,
I was hoping
Trying
you'd do a
to-
Speedy Gonzalez.
but like, if you're saying he's in a penitentiary at one point, then the kid that watches that movie, then 15 years later looks into who voiced whatever character, and they see where that person had been throughout their life. They're probably it's just something that you find out later. You find things out later sometimes.
Interesting to say the least.
By the way, happy birthday to Mickey and Minnie.
Oh yeah, House of Mouse celebrating. How old are they?
91.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to count how many movies in the last 6 years Nicolas Cage had done.
How many?
36.
That's amazing.
Holy hell.
Last how many?
Let's go. Let's take that back. Take off 3.
So 33 movies
Yeah.
over the last.
So is
6
he still
years?
old school where he thinks
33
if he
movies.
does if he does
It's over
TV
5 a year.
Yeah.
is he old school still? Okay, is the money just better, or is he old school where he thinks if he does TV, it's like a downgrade? Like, do you think he's in that?
I'm sure like this
He
is
might
probably
be.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
this probably was the equivalent. He probably was like, "Hey, we can get you a bunch of money for an HBO series, or you can do a bunch of shitty movies a year." And I think Nicolas Cage, coming from the old school, being a
He
movie
is. He's
star,
probably-
still counts.
I mean, look, who's his uncle?
Yeah, Coppola.
So I mean,
So he comes from a Hollywood family, so that's what they do. He's an actor. So Nicolas Cage will always do movies because he's just a movie head. He's a movie family.
yeah, that's kind of who he is.
Like,
He's
that's
kind
like
of a-
asking Tarantino's never going to direct an episode of Madam Secretary. Like, he's never going to do TV. There's probably never a project he'll ever
Leone?
do.
What do you do at Law and Order?
He did an episode. I take that back. He did an episode of CSI.
Did he?
He did. He did an episode of CSI.
Okay, see.
Yeah, I take that back.
You familiar with Malcolm Gladwell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to direct
A Marvel
he said,
movie.
He said he just wants to direct one episode of Law and Order where he makes it go off its given format every single time, and then just step back and see everyone explode.
What happens?
Because I guess they have it's a prevailing thing. Like,
Yeah.
bad guy does this, they do that, they get the bad guy every time or something.
Okay, here's how
money.
we
Yeah.
turn.
That's good money.
Okay,
Yeah,
there.
that's so good.
Now we hand it over to the prosecutor.
Yep.
And then we
Justice is
then
served.
we go into the courtroom and then watch yourself, McCoy, and then blah blah blah. Closing argument. We win. Stuff like that.
Before we get to the
And speaking of some, God, because here's I was trying to think of like actors that make that jump to television.
right.
Because the guy that I think of when we're joking about CSIs, we're joking about Criminal Minds, but it's always going to be NCIS. Mark Harmon.
Yeah.
Mark Harmon has made how much money on that franchise? Mark Harmon was the guy, I knew him as the actor who was the teacher in summer school.
Right.
I
Right.
loved the movie Summer School
It's very
growing up.
good.
I had it on
loved
VHS.
I enjoy watching
That's
it.
who I thought Mark Harmon was and was going to be. Now look at that role.
Mark Harmon.
Look at the role he played on that as the beach bum teacher, and then how much money he's made as Jethro.
Not only that, how much money has he made for CBS?
Yeah. NCIS is
Tom
just a-
Selleck and Harmon have kept CBS afloat. Them and
and
Shamar Moore.
Tom Selleck should thank Mark Harmon because he showed that it was sustainable to
Yeah.
have that type of show.
Yeah.
I think about if you were to ever have reservations, I would look to Afton native, South County native, to John Goodman. Like, he's a better actor than you. He's been in bigger movies than you'll ever be in,
Right.
and he'll take a TV role
Yeah.
real quick.
Well,
Now,
the price is right.
true, and he made some serious.
Like HBO, I'm sure.
Well, HBO, that's
And
that's
then
different.
ABC
But I'm
probably
saying
gave him
technically
those
he's
things.
got 2 TV shows he's on.
Yeah. The Connors
Right.
and Righteous
But
Gemstones.
how did the timeline work for him though? Like
Hey, he was in movies first, not huge.
before
movies.
Roseanne?
Mm-hmm.
But Roseanne kind of put him out there.
Roseanne
right?
put him on
big
the map.
time.
Yeah.
I mean,
no
it
doubt.
wasn't Arachnophobia,
Yeah, as the exterminator.
which he was in.
But no, yeah.
That movie screwed with me.
That messed me
I
for
mean,
a
that's with
long
everybody.
I remembered like washing my face in the shower with soap in my eyes, trying to keep my eyes open because I was afraid like a spider would come
Yeah,
down.
that's fair.
My eyes are burning,
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
so you're trying. Yeah, it's
Better than a
difficult.
big old spider bite.
All right.
Yeah, who wants that?
Before we get to the birthdays, let me know. Let's by yay or nay if you have heard or seen
Okay.
these Nicolas Cage films since 2014.
All right.
Okay.
Left Behind.
Was that? I thought that was a Kirk Cameron movie.
But he was in, I guess, the cinema version.
Wait, is that
Like
the
this
one?
is like the Kirk Cameron's was like VHS DVD.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, Left
He was-
Behind. This was a major one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Rage.
No,
I've heard of
Outcast.
it. No.
the speaker box in the Love Below.
No. Dying of the Light.
Um,
The Runner.
Wait, hang on. What is it? Dying?
Dying of the Light.
No.
The Runner.
No.
Pay the Ghost.
What?
Yes.
Who?
You have seen it.
I have heard of it.
Okay. The Trust.
No.
Dog Eat Dog.
Wag the Dog.
No.
Snowden.
Yes.
USS Indianapolis Men of Courage.
Huh.
I think I've heard of that one.
Maybe?
I think I saw that on a red
Maybe in
box screen.
passing or
Yeah,
something?
Probably. Army of One.
Army of Darkness.
Arsenal.
I live there.
Ah,
Vengeance, a love story.
no.
Inconceivable.
Now I want to see Vengeance, a Love Story.
Me too, because that's
Do you have?
Let's watch that today.
Does
yeah,
it?
you could probably find
For the
it on
last one?
YouTube. Probably free.
For the last one, does anytime you say it, you have to go?
Inconceivable.
Mom and Dad is the one I was talking about. I have seen that one. The Humanity Bureau.
The what?
The Humanity
Okay.
Bureau.
You're just
You
putting
saw
words together now.
Dark. Mandy. I've seen that.
Actually, the Humanity Bureau sounds like a good band.
That is. All right.
Bureau. Someone needs to use Bureau in a band name.
Yeah.
How about the Bureau Estate by Snappy Pigman?
The Estate Bureau.
Perfect.
You got Looking Glass, 211,
Uh-huh.
Teen Titans Go to the movies. I've seen that.
Don't know what that is.
Between Worlds,
No.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I've
Yeah,
seen that.
okay.
He was funny in that.
He was in that, yeah.
I know you haven't seen A Score to Settle, Color Out of Space, Running with the Devil, Kill Chain, Primal, Grand Isle.
What's Running with the Devil?
Running with the Devil. He plays the cook. That's literally his title. Please, God, don't let him. Okay, cool. I was like, please don't let him be a supporting character. It is the CEO of an international conglomerate, sends two of the most regarded executives to investigate why shipments of cocaine are being hijacked and overcut somewhere on the supply chain.
So the cook's doing it.
Running with the
Running
Devil,
'cause you're
starring
running.
Nicolas Cage and Lawrence Fishburne.
See, now,
What?
See,
if it
this-
was my.
you feel like, yeah, exactly.
If you just gave me the title, I would be like Nick Cage in a Van Halen biopic. Are you kidding me? That's what I thought Running with the Devil
Okay,
was.
yeah. Maybe that's why. Huh.
The cook. Barry Pepper is in it.
Barry Pepper, Lawrence Fishburne, and Nicolas Cage.
Oh, how about this? Adam Goldberg's in it. Huh. How did I miss this?
Yeah. Left Behind, by the way. I'll give you this one.
Cole Hauser is in it. Cole Hauser, everyone.
Adam Goldberg, the most neurotic actor you've ever seen?
His characters make me jittery. His characters just
Just
make
the
me
one,
very
just
uncomfortable.
Saving Private Ryan alone.
It's just characters just make me very that scene. Brr, brutal.
Left Behind, a 1% on Rotten. Tomatoes.
Whoa, buddy.
That's higher than
Oh,
his.
God, hold on.
That's higher than his friend John. Oh my God, are you kidding me? From Face Off, John
Travolta?
Travolta's Gotti movie. That was a 0.
He shouldn't have played Gotti.
Like what? Like
Armand DeSanti did a great job of playing Gotti in the HBO movie of that.
man, sometimes like it's okay to walk away. Like that's what happened to
No.
Travolta and Cage.
Here's the description of Left Behind. We might have to watch this one.
Okay.
The entire planet is thrown into mayhem when millions of people disappear without a trace. All that remains are their clothes and belongings. Unmanned vehicles crash and planes fall from the sky, overwhelming emergency forces and causing massive gridlock, riots, and chaos. Airline pilot Ray Steele, Nicolas Cage, struggles to save the lives of the passengers who remain on his flight, while his daughter races to find her brother and mother, both of whom have disappeared. Looks like I got some viewing to do, gentlemen.
Wish the weekend was extended,
Play
huh?
trailer on YouTube. Oh.
Oh
I'll
god.
look into that.
I might look at that a little bit later.
Oh boy.
Jamie Moyer's Fancy Foyer loves that Nick Cage is fearless and he's not afraid to look crazy and he hits the occasional home run.
That's all. He's
What?
he's living life, man.
Does it add
The
to his
movie is
lore, this recent wedding weirdness in Vegas?
I don't know what was going on there completely.
I mean, I think it has to do with a wagon and being on it.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
And here's the beautiful part. He's probably gonna allude to it in the movie.
He's got. I hope if they could visit his his plot
Oh, please don't.
in St.
Oh,
Louis
that's so
Cemetery in
weird.
New Orleans.
That's kind of creepy.
How about this? Tom Brown letting us know John Goodman was the football coach in Revenge of the Nerds.
Yes, he was.
And failed an SNL audition in 1980.
What did Arnaz say this past Friday about that? Like just people not quitting. Look at John Goodman. That story.
He was talking about this in an interview where he just loved playing football. He won like 2 for, I guess, did he go to Afton or Lindbergh?
He
Or
went to
He was
Afton, I
Afton.
believe, yeah.
he said they won 2 varsity games in 4 years or something while he was there. That's a winner. That's a grinder's mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have like, man, what a great career. Like just really one of the most respected actors, but no one bothers him.
Got sober in his 50s.
Really?
Got sober in his 50s. He's been sober like 10 plus years now. It's probably right around the time we met him.
He's just a
He was
really
getting sober.
damn good actor. Like, he's really, really good, and like, he's one of those guys. Like he'll give gravitas to your film by appearing in it now.
Yeah.
And he would appear. You would think he could only play one way. Like that's what I would pigeonhole him as.
Right,
Oh, he's
right.
always
But
gonna
no,
be
he's
this.
very versatile.
Mhm.
And he can play very creepy, inspiring.
What was that Cloverfield movie?
Oh, he was brilliant in that. I
So
thought he
good.
kind of should have got some Academy love for that. I enjoy John. I'm a big fan. Been a big fan for a long time. But yeah, for him to do what he does in The Conners and what he does in Righteous Gemstones, and then jump into a movie like Cloverfield, it's crazy.
There was a show. God, I only watched a little bit of it. Is it called Alpha House with John Goodman? Have you ever heard of this?
Yes, it was on Amazon Prime, and it was their version of Veep or
Yes.
what's the Kevin Spacey one?
House of Cards?
Right. It was a mix of the two, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
More a comedic tent. Yeah, because it's you're saying a mix there. Yeah, so that makes sense. That was a really good show from what episodes I watched. Like that one of his, I think kind of flew under the radar some. I thought that one was fantastic. I just didn't continue watching.
Right.
But from what I had watched, you would like this show, Travis. You would most certainly like it. It's called Alpha House.
Okay.
It's like it's politically motivated in a way, but it's like these representatives or congressmen, like they live in the same house. Like, so when they're in D.C.,
That's where they stay.
they kind of room together.
Right.
So they have this thing and
Oh.
the shenanigans
That's a
that
nice premise. I like
it's
that
not
premise.
It's not bad. I think you'd like it.
That's a nice premise. I like that.
I'm not sure how many years old it is now. Probably like 4 or 5, something along those lines.
Interesting.
But that kind of flew under the radar. I thought that was a good role of his.
There we go.
Gardner, let's get him on.
John Goodman?
Yeah, if you could.
You know who he's buddies with and does things with every year, or something? It's John Carney.
Yeah, they've known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Hi, John.
Anytime he's in town,
It's John.
I mean,
They do an
yeah, because
event.
Carney will MC for him or whatever it is. And
He was talking about he had to do a speaking. This is on Marin. He had to do a speaking engagement at WashU, and he's so insecure. He's like, I don't know why they'd want me. And Marin's like, what do you mean you don't know why they'd want you? He's like, I guess Kevin Kline wasn't available, and they needed somebody from St. Louis. Like, wow, you can be that successful and that universally loved, and still, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. You know what's not funny?
What's that, Chris? What's not fun?
How great the service is. You ready?
Oh boy, where are we going now?
At Gastropit every Thursday.
Oh, okay.
But it is funny because we do Free Comedy Thursday. Join us this week. We're going to have another great show, 8:30 kickoff. And then they've got late night barbecue, Travis.
I
O-
can
over
vouch
show.
for the brisket.
Gardner, let's talk about this brisket real quick. You settled in
Oh.
last week on a Thursday night, and I looked down and I thought, they must be doing like a buffet style thing on the bar now. This must be for the entire room. No, it wasn't the case.
I only had the regular order of brisket and some mac and cheese because I wanted to save some room for the pork taco I ordered as well, which was delightful.
Such an ass.
What?
You guys are asses.
It was very good. It was delectable. It was juicy. Oh, I lathered that up in some Memphis barbecue sauce too.
He said lather.
Oh, I let it sit on my tongue for just a little bit.
See,
to let.
This is
them
your fault. No,
taste.
don't look at me.
No,
your
this
fault.
is his.
My
This is
God.
him not being able to drink. He focuses in on this. Like, you see that? It's better he focuses on a pork taco like that
Said
rather than a bottle of vodka.
Said lather and let it sit on his tongue.
I just let it sit there to taste it.
We got another story to get to
So I
next
could
hour
taste you, brisket.
that
It
Black
tastes
Sheep
good.
has brought to our attention, and it's about the new Ford Mustang.
Oh,
We'll get to that, and it's going to be very funny. We've got Great American Race next hour. Gardner needs a menthol. We'll go take care of that. Drink some Snappy Bigman coffee while we're at it. If you want to, hit share. We'd love you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the second hour. Welcome back to the show, Chris Simmons, Travis Terrell, and the producer, Chris Gardner. We are live. Excited to be here. Had a great first hour because of you, listeners, viewers. Thank you.
I think you mean that.
I do. We had several interesting stories from the weekend and actually spoke about Nick Cage for about 47 minutes last hour. I'm not complaining. Hey, Nick there. Nice work there, Gardner. Flashing up on screen. We've got Great American Race this hour, but I did want to hit something real quick. And Gardner, I don't know how much you've looked into this, the meteor, in quotes, that dropped somewhere outside of O'Fallon or Wentzville or Moscow Mills, maybe even made it all the way to the Warrenton area. I don't know. Maybe it could have went that far. Allegedly, father and son may have found a chunk of the Missouri meteor. Have you had a chance to look into this?
I saw a little bit on it. Yeah.
How do we feel?
Do they
Think it's accurate?
How do they know they have it?
They don't know. They found something
When it turns into a giant spaceship and
That,
carries them away, they'll probably be verified.
that looked a little different on a walk, and father son.
It would be hilarious if it was labeled Jupiter Rock.
Yeah, right there. That I think they were near a creek or a crick, and
Depending on where they were.
yeah,
Yeah.
and came across something that looked a little odd, and they were like, "Oh, this is an area that maybe a chunk could have fallen. So hey, let's maybe let some people know." And this is you can see here what they found. They were gonna give it to Wash U and let them have a go at it and see what it is.
No, they're gonna give it to NASA or to that museum for the money.
Maybe, unless it's petrified horse manure or a cow manure.
Huh? Interesting.
But we'll find out, won't we? It's a nice little chunk there.
That is, yeah.
I look forward to that kid's hand turning into an alien hand.
Right.
Is that what you think happens when meteorites?
I saw District 9.
Thank you, Chris.
I mean, Travis, you've been around it, kind of. Do you know how Tibetan tektite forms? I'll show you how Tibetan tektite forms.
You don't have to.
I mean, it comes from impact of meteorites on Earth,
Oh.
and the heat does this to the rocks. So this
Really?
technically
It's just burnt rock.
from
Right. We got somebody's burnt
Out of
toast
spa-
from
out of
space, and we're like,
space.
oh, let's worship
wanna
it
touch
and
it?
put it into weird stores where it
Right.
smell like
Wanna touch it?
patchouli.
But like alien jizz turns into a meteor. What if we discover that's what it was?
Right. You literally look into it and
We think this is a majestic
come back
thing.
from and the
Yeah,
aliens
it's
land
okay.
and they're like, oh, don't. It's like they're talking to a little kid, like, oh, don't eat that. No.
it tastes okay.
I'd keep it out of your mouth.
Ah.
So ultimately, what do they stand to get any cash or anything?
I don't know. That wasn't really discussed in the story because I don't know what the motivations are necessarily after they find out yay or nay on what it is. So I guess we'll have to. I don't know if they were completely giving it up to WashU or they're just saying, hey, here's what we found. Maybe you want to test it because we're in this vicinity that seems to make sense with the route of what was going on. So I guess once you get an answer is then when we'll find out what the next step is.
Okay.
But we might have been a little behind in our quest to go out and find some meteorites ourselves.
I know. I still think you and Travis should go explore.
I don't know, man.
Travis isn't comfortable in that area.
Yeah.
We'll look into it.
Oh, we don't have to.
You have
We'll
to
study it further.
just to cross the Blanchette Bridge.
Oh boy.
You
Yeah.
Okay.
used to do that for work. Not the Blanchette, but you would go across the page, I'm sure.
What happened on the first day?
You got pulled
That
over?
is something that gets struck from the script, International Screenwriter. Like if you take that to your studio and you go, all right, so it's a black guy in an area where he's scared to go to, and it's the first day, and then he gets a ticket. They're like, listen, we understand that these things happen, but that's what we would call a farce.
They don't happen
And
on
they'd
the
explain
first
to you
day.
like, we need the audience to trust us, and if they think things are a bit too extreme for this dramedy, then we're not going to be able to put that in there. Do you
That's
understand,
so
Travis?
annoying. Like I was lost. I was trying to figure out where to go, and instead of him saying, "Hey, can I help you, sir? Here's a ticket."
Did he give you directions after that?
Hell no, I still was lost.
Yeah, he said go back that way.
Yeah.
You know what I was able to find out that way all the time? The Dairy Queen.
Oh,
Oh, I found my way there plenty of times.
Favorite Dairy Queen Blizzard? Go.
I like the Oreo or the Reese's. It just depended on the day for me. I was a big fan of going and ordering
You're a Brazier man.
a small Oreo Blizzard, a double cheeseburger, and a single cheeseburger.
Was that your OCD or?
And I would start with the ice cream. The ice cream was first.
That's just strange, right?
And then I would eat the...
I worry about you a
I
lot.
as well.
I'm sure this won't lead to 2 hours of grandstanding rhetoric or intense discussion for 3 people who probably agree with the same side.
Uh-oh.
But Colin Kaepernick this weekend, this has gotten, you know what? I just sat back and watched everything burn. It didn't bother me, nor do I give 2 shits if Colin Kaepernick did not care for the way the NFL was handling his, and I'll do this like the meteorite, workout for the teams. It felt hollow. It felt weird. So I don't see an issue with him changing up a place where he wanted to work out an hour before, because it just adds to the drama and the craziness of the situation. And it showed them, hey, you're not my boss. I'll do what I please. And if you want a serviceable quarterback, here I am. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole thing. I don't even know the full reasoning, but I did watch a bunch of people have full-on meltdowns over it, like, get him out of here, bah! Doing that kind of thing. It's fine. You can think the guy's ridiculous or have your own opinion, but I just find it funny when I'm like, you're not company men. Like, any other situation, like, you're siding for Mr. Burns,
Yeah,
a group of 32 Mr. Burns.
It's hard to find me on the side of the NFL ever, and I'm
Yeah.
not on their side in this case.
Boy,
For
and I don't care if Kaepernick was rude or
Yeah.
shitty or anything. And I don't know that I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying I don't care if he literally threw up a finger to them. I don't know if that bodes well, if he's not going to be in lockstep with their rules, but I didn't. Did you guys get offended?
There was
by it?
obviously things that weren't in place that probably should have been in place if you were going to make an announcement like this, that this workout was going to happen. And they obviously were not. And it was not one item. It was multiple
that
items.
they weren't doing, or
Um,
that he.
there are probably a couple of items that you could say both sides, hey, maybe you should have done this. And then there were a couple of items that the NFL just did not have ironed out that was not going to allow this to happen to begin with. And so they completely fucked up there. Like, it's especially with some of the stuff they tried to sneak into this waiver, apparently.
Oh,
And
that he was
then
going to sign.
the
I guess.
lawyers saw it and were like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like one of them being, and I saw this morning, that part of it, like this good faith effort by the NFL to allow this workout to happen in a weird way. A number of items issue that it's not, legit in the way they went down with it.
Right.
But one thing that apparently was on this waiver was something about, because he can sue again for ongoing collusion
Right.
because they have the settlement,
Yeah.
but he can still go back at them, and this is their kind of good faith way
Right.
of saying, no, here you go, here's your workout, you're no collusion, here all the teams are invited. But apparently within this waiver, and this is coming from Kaepernick's camp, so
Right.
but this
Sure.
is what I
Could
had
be.
read,
Yeah.
that it would basically be saying that you won't sue us again now for ongoing collusion was so it's like, well, that's a non-starter to begin with.
Right.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
So I mean that's
So they were
Yeah.
they were literally like, okay, we'll still hold the workout. The workout's not complicated. The hoopla was the fact that
Yeah.
maybe he's going to get picked up.
And I can understand, look, these two, I'll say teams,
Right.
because we have the Kaepernick team, the NFL team, or whatever you want to call it, have been at odds for 3 years plus now.
Right.
They're not going to trust each other.
Right.
And obviously Kaepernick's team did not trust the NFL to, when they went to say, yeah, no videoing this. They're like, oh, no. You're not controlling this story. This is still going to be in our hands.
Right.
So either side doesn't trust each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this was what did you think was going to happen? Especially when we saw the story break, and then immediately there was back and forth. You're like, yep, this is going to end well.
Right.
Of course, this is going to happen.
Right. I think you guys hit everything on the head as far as it's the NFL. I'm not even surprised anymore.
No.
We saw them reach out to Collins Camp on a Tuesday to let him know that he's going to be having a tryout this Saturday. Like, just think about that. Just as an athlete.
No, that happened. Now, him in particular. Now, that would happen because if a quarterback goes down, it is all hands on deck. Here we go. But he's been available for 3 years, so that is curious or would feel odd. You know what I mean?
The NFL was never sincere. They don't want Cap in the league. They know what happens. We saw stories recently come out in the Wall Street Journal about why some of the owners were such in lockstep to not go against this administration because the NFL owners, of course, are trying to expand gambling, and they're going to need some support from certain individuals of a particular party in order to get that across the finish line. And so they're not going to allow one guy, let alone a black one, to mess that up. So they're going to do whatever they can to make it appear as if they're giving him an opportunity without actually giving him an opportunity. And this was a perfect example of that. Again, you've heard football people say that if you really want to do a workout, they traditionally do it on Tuesdays. Well, they pushed it to a Saturday when they knew a majority of the scouts, it would be difficult for them to attend. Then you didn't want them, for whatever reason, media is always available at these workouts. You didn't want one for Kaepernick? It was just so bizarre. They wanted to do everything.
And that's there's parts of it that I'm not sure on what's what with it.
Right.
Because there's back and forth on, he wanted media. He didn't want media. He wanted this.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Right.
In that, like, I can't say without a doubt that this is what so-and-so wanted or what was declined.
Right.
But I think I can trust some things that were in waivers that you're just kind of like, yeah, that's suspect.
Yeah.
So
To me, it looks like two
I can
sides.
believe that kind of stuff. Like, leave the other stuff for speculation,
Right.
and that's fine. But there's certain things in there that, like, when I hear that, oh yeah, there's going to be like something in the waiver about, this is our faith, our good faith effort, no ongoing collusion, so no lawsuits going forward. When I hear that kind of, I'm like, why would you sign anything like that?
And I can
You
understand.
would never. Why would you trust these people?
And what we have been surprised.
Are they just following their own guidelines?
Well, we have been surprised.
Heard that one before.
If we heard sources leak to Adam Schefter or anybody at NFL Network that if he had gone through with the workout with the Falcons, well, we have been surprised if we heard 20, 25 scouts say, "Nah, man, he just doesn't have it anymore."
Right,
Like,
and where's the proof?
Where's the proof?
Of course.
So we wouldn't have been surprised if, like, yeah, I've talked to a majority of the people who are in attendance, and those NFL scouts say he was just didn't look sharp. He was kind of rusty on the edges, looked kind of out of shape. Like, we would not have been surprised that he'd
Slow
gone
the
through all of
uptake.
this. Yeah, absolutely.
But I've seen the video. What does this workout really tell me?
Nothing. It's gonna tell. But I'm saying
That's
is,
why
if
it
you
was
really
fun
want
to have it.
and that's why you know it's not real, because if you're an NFL team and a real NFL scouts, you know the process at this point, and that's
you wanna
not the
know how
process.
someone reacts with a
Exactly.
pass rusher in their face.
That's
That
what
sounds
the
like
NFL put on a show and
he's
a song
throwing
and
footballs.
dance, and it's all for look. I look. They understand the writing on the wall when it comes to politics, and these owners. Remember back in the day, owners used to just have teams just as a side thing, a bit of a tax write-off. But now these owners, especially in the NFL, this is their main generator now. This is like, it makes more money than the entities that they currently run outside of the NFL. So, or as much. I know certainly in Kroenke's case, I would imagine as much. But
Well, he's building a $5 billion stadium, so
Right.
better.
so
but
they
he
see
needs the players to chip in.
and they know the revenue stream that's going to come in from gambling. They know it. They've seen the math. They know how they
forget
stand
that
to
that's
make
out there.
Yeah, they know they stand to make. We talked about it. Remember when we had our boy on a couple years ago? We used to do the numbers, do the pick'ems every Sunday, and we would talk about
Brandon,
the
your
Lang,
boy,
Brandon
Brandon
Lang, yeah.
Your
And
boy?
and that's your boy. But we would occasionally talk about just how much money in illegal betting takes place, and there was a ballpark figure between like 20 to
Just
25
make it
billion
legal and
dollars.
tax the ever living
And
shit
that's what
out
I'm
of it.
saying is, and so these entities, these owners stand to make a large windfall from this, and it's going to have to go through a ton of legislation in order for that to happen. And they don't need any enemies right now on Capitol Hill, and they're not going to rock that revenue boat, and they really weren't going to give Colin Kaepernick an opportunity. Everybody knows that, and Cap, I think, even knew that going in. I think he knew that even from, like you just said, the offer was bullshit. They knew you were going to say no. They knew it was bullshit, and they knew you were smart enough to not actually sign that and create this chaos and drama. That's what the NFL wanted. It's not a matter of what we have seen recently with the impeachment. Like, it's for one side, it's not about getting to what actually happened. It's about confusing the fuck out of everybody to the point until they're exasperated and they're tired of even talking about it. And I think the NFL has done a good job of that. We're now tired of talking about it. Colin's out of the league. There's nothing you're going to do about it. End of story. Sad end of story, but it's the truth.
Good.
It's two sides that don't trust each other at all, and probably for good reason. And end of the day, do you think he'll ever play in the NFL ever again?
No, he'll never play again. I don't see it happening.
Do you think he would? Do you think he would go to an XFL team?
No, never.
No, because of the talent disparity?
Yeah,
like he's
absolutely.
above it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a Super Bowl quarterback.
Oh, I'm not saying. But
No, I'm just saying it's in his head. He's look, I'm a Super Bowl quarterback. Yeah, I had a bad season, but what quarterback hasn't? What quarterback have we not
you
seen in
can't
the
do
last
the-
5 to 8 years outside of maybe Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady?
you can't do the talent thing. Like
No, it's
I
not,
just
but
know
I'm
you're-
just
you're not-
saying.
No, I'm
Right,
saying
yeah.
to people who would. Like, I just know you're not.
But there are going to be a lot of people today that will say Colin blew this up and say he couldn't cut it. And that's the part that annoys me because, if anything, it just gives people who already have
Well,
bad
it's just
sports opinions
dishonest.
just more. And it's very dishonest.
Or you're a really bad analyst.
Well, yeah, but who cares? It's not even about football at this point.
Yeah,
we all
it's-
know
yeah.
it's not even about
Brock
football.
Osweiler just retire.
Shit, I thought
I
Rex
mean-
Grossman was still throwing the pigskin around a couple
I
seasons
I'm saying
ago.
Brock.
dead.
I think
Okay.
it's not true.
Oh, whoops. Another mistake.
Brock Osweiler
Happens to him now.
made like $50 million,
Had a
$80
nice-
million,
had a nice career.
and his career passer rating like negative probably. Point being, like, you guys aren't geniuses all the time, and you give people like Brock Osweiler, who is a terrible quarterback, many opportunities. So if you don't want him in the league, then please do not tell
Isn't
me.
Trubisky
But
fella
as it-
still
but-
playing?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
Still
mean,
playing?
like,
But that's the thing. Like, I think if you wanted to, and again, it's reason because what really happened again, what really screwed the pooch was the president getting involved. I think, like I said, I think if a team had just signed
Oh,
him,
where they
they
were
would have
just like,
had
it's
maybe
too
2
many
weeks of a
splashes in the
blowback.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have had a couple weeks of blowback. But if Colin Kaepernick went out there with an 89 passer rating, everybody would have been like, well, you know. But when the president got involved, that was ball game. They were painted into a corner. They had no choice. They had a choice, but they were cowards, and they decided to
Oh,
put
certainly.
money over conviction or
Absolutely
human
cowards.
rights in this case. But
Well,
so
be careful. Watch it.
I know. I apologize.
Watch where you're walking.
I know.
We've,
Humans.
we've had this discussion
We have.
before.
You're right. Human rights. Let me pull it back. In civil rights, let me say in this particular instance, Colin Kaepernick having the opportunity
Keep it
to
domestic
do a
here.
job. And I will say they've done enough to muddy the legal waters to the point where it's like, it's collusion, but it ain't collusion. Well done. Well done, NFL. It's embarrassing, but it's well done. What are
You
you
still
gonna do?
call them out for being cowards.
No, absolutely. And they're fine with
And
that.
sons of bitches.
Look, they're fine with that.
But we don't like the NFL anyway. So my thing is, like, it's just funny to me, and these are specific instances I'm referring to. It is funny to me that out of one side of your mouth you can be like, the Rams screwed us in St. Louis, and the other side of your mouth being like, Kaepernick needs to calm down, and
That's a good
he's
point.
blah blah.
That's a
You
good
don't
point,
have
Chris.
to agree
That's a
with
good
it.
point,
You
Chris.
can even think he's selfish. You can think he's got malintent. You know,
Right.
I don't care
Right.
personally, but it is hilarious
But I
when
think you hit
people,
that- yeah, that's a
when
good
people
point,
don't
Chris, yeah.
realize it. I'm like, you're a stooge right now.
Right, you're a good point,
and you're
Chris.
anti-stooge and everything else. Like, what?
How can the NFL be crooked
make
and
sense?
corrupt
Gardner,
when
you
it
got a
comes
face.
to relocating an entire? Remind you, they relocated an entire team. They were as crooked as corrupt as can be about it, and everybody in St. Louis saw it. And then you can look at Colin Kaepernick and go, "Well, he's
fair.
getting a fair shot, man. Where?"
My view on how I view certain things with the Rams has changed, I think. Because I was upset.
Okay.
I was pissed
You
off,
were for a long time.
and I didn't like it. And you know what? I can still not like it, but also, I think my view has gone to. I'm also glad it happened.
Mm.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, I
in a
agree.
way.
I'm
in
glad
a way.
I
It
agree.
set off a chain. Of
I
events.
agree.
Here, then this,
I
wanna
see what you're saying.
Be clear, because I believe it set me free.
Yeah, absolutely.
It set me free. Of
Absolutely.
The NFL.
It was you had
And
to
I am-
almost defend it right and left
Because it
You-
was
It
wrong.
was wrong, but you were happy to have a team
I
and
fought.
a place to go to on a Sunday and a little time you enjoyed saying, "All right, let's go local sports team. Yeah, let's do it." You like that.
Uh-huh.
We all like that.
But-
Civic duty. I completely agree.
But it set me free.
Yes.
And I like it even more now. That
It-
I don't give a fuck about them.
It really
Well,
was
because of you figured out what they were.
Yeah.
They're no longer.
And so-
they're no longer the sports. Or
The truth set me free.
the wall
Them leaving
watch.
set me free.
Yes.
It was cathartic. It is cathartic. And I love it. And I'll scream it not from a mountaintop, but from the rocket ship I take from that mountaintop into space.
That the meteor
I'll
changes
scream it
into.
from there.
Yeah, the NFL to us used to be Herschel Walker on Tecmo Super Bowl and wall watches you got to hang on your wall that you don't. You remember those? Those they were like championship belt.
Oh,
level.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
giant watches.
Yeah,
NFL
yeah,
team.
yeah. Uh-huh.
That's all it was to you. It's like, yeah, football. Woo, here we go. And then you kind of chip away at it, and you're like, ugh, this is not good. So
That's what it was. It was like we're all doing this.
I'm free.
what do you think about Tom's assessment? Pretty sure pro football is fake anyway. Outcomes are predetermined. Kaepernick is the CM Punk of the NFL.
Yeah. I think again,
Still
man,
real to me, man.
It's I don't know, man. People, the things to get outraged about, like and then we talk about this a lot, but it's funny, like everything that's going on, whatever you may think of whether he's guilty or not, you have to say that the proceedings are important. The impeachment proceedings. That's at least say they're legit because they are. But what gets me is like this is a nothing burger to a certain group of Americans, the impeachment proceedings. But they will have a heart attack listening to conservative radio go after Colin Kaepernick. But that's the biggest issue
Oh,
that
you're
truly
saying,
boils their guts.
You're saying
This
follow
is-
the rules. They freak out about following the
Yes.
rules there, but not there.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
right.
that's,
If Colin Kaepernick, if the impeachment proceedings are a nothing burger, if that's the standard, then Colin's a nothing burger. You cannot put a quarterback exercising his right to use his platform to protest and say then of a president or an administration that seems to be doing some questionable dealings with foreign governments behind the American
Yeah, but
people's
But the
back.
president loves the flag, Travis. You don't understand that. I've seen him grab and hug the flag before. I'm pretty sure he fucks it.
If Colin is serious, if
It's probably assault. What he does to the flag is probably more chargeable criminally than anything Colin Kaepernick has done.
but that's what I'm saying. Like if Cap had done what we saw with the Cleveland Browns, if he was a guy that literally took off his helmet and tried to smack the shit out of a guy without a helmet on, if he was a guy that ran over a pedestrian while getting onto an on-ramp on a highway while drunk and high, like if he had done those things, run over a woman in a DUI accident and then allowed to play the next year, if he had done those things, then I would say, all right, who is this guy who thinks he deserves to be in this league?
yeah.
But Colin Kaepernick hasn't done those things, so why does he not deserve to be in this league?
Colin
And so
Kaepernick is the problem. Joe Mixon isn't the problem.
Joe Mixon isn't the problem.
is he still in the league?
Oh, yeah.
Richie Incognito's not the problem.
Yeah. Who wanted his father's head?
The Pouncey brothers, who
Was threatening to
literally
beat up everyone in a funeral home if they didn't give him his father's head.
the Pouncey brothers, who are literally
Serial
potential
killer?
witnesses and accomplices with a serial killer, potentially, allegedly.
Aaron Michael Hernandez.
Yes. So you had no, and again, Mike Vick, don't even give me the time off, can't play. Mike Vick spent time in a prison.
Triangle assassin is a very important question. I won't read the whole thing, but Yeah, I will. Which part of the flag code of conduct does effing it fall under? Are there guidelines for appropriate positions, and do you have to call it afterwards?
We are a Christian country.
Do you buy it
Well, it has
an
to be
Uber?
missionary is the position.
I would
definitely.
think so.
Missionary, definitely.
Okay, moving on.
Missionary. Did he grab it by the?
All right.
No, I'm
Tom
just
Brown
wondering
agreeing
out
with
loud
you,
here.
Gardner. So there you go.
That he does that to the flag? I'm sure he does.
Speaking of
Perched. He does it
Tossed.
while perched.
Oh God.
perched. Speaking of toss to the side, Mizzou's season. Your boy Ben Fred takes it to the Missouri Tigers, and boy, of course, this made it to the rundown. Gardner, I know. Speaking of perched, Mizzou continuing to be less than mediocre. Doesn't look like they're.
Score's getting smaller on the graphic that they're
oh,
using.
Man.
This is a better highlight this week. At least it looks like I know what the defense is actually doing this time, and the defense is trying to tackle.
I will say this: I don't think their head coach is going to get fired, and I think it's going to be more of the same for years to come.
No, actually, considering how listless these performances have been the last 3 weeks, I think my hope could come true that they lose out. Tennessee is playing better, so I expect them to
You're
lose to
rooting
them.
for him to lose?
I'm rooting for them to lose so that way
Oh
they
my
can win.
God.
I'm rooting for them to lose now so
they
they
bold?
can win later.
You need to fail
You need
to
to.
succeed.
You need to stop being. Look,
Are they finally
what I
bringing
do.
Mike Martz back?
here's
to
what I
Missouri?
do. And I said, look, he's definitely. I think I saw an interview recently where he's like, man, I'm good and retired, and that's probably true.
Who?
You got it, Bob Stoops. You throw a bunch of money at him. You throw his. I know he's going to say no, but make him turn down $8 million a year.
And
Make
then,
'em turn down-
you show your second choice, like, hey, we got it. Maybe you'll come out of the bushes.
Yeah. Why not? Make Bob Stoops tell you no, but lose out. You got to lose to Tennessee. You got to Chris's point. You don't want to give the boosters any level of hope because if you go 6-6, that's a bowl game. Bowl games.
They're going to get another win.
They're gonna, and I think they'll definitely lose to Tennessee. The Arkansas game. Arkansas is the only team that I think is playing worse than
Arkansas-
Mizzou. And they
Biggest
just fired
rival-
their coach.
Biggest
literally.
rivalry in sports. Is
Biggest, huge.
Mizzou, Arkansas.
Arkansas might be the worst Power 5.
6-6.
They've lost 2 bought games now this year. They've lost 2 of those.
Oh, wow. They just fired their coach. So, yeah, maybe
if
Mizzou,
Mizzou
will get,
were
yeah.
to lose to them,
No, Mizzou
now
lost
that-
Arkansas. That's
that
it,
might-
right?
That might.
So my losing out is perfect because then you fall below.
if that scenario plays
Yes.
out, then you most certainly have
you
a
go 5-7. That's termination.
you
That's
have
it.
Ooh,
That's a wrap.
lost to Arkansas.
So let's go Razorbacks. Let's go
This
Volunteers.
is disgusting.
Woo! It is gross, but it's what you have to do to get back to being better. You got to. Let's purge the stupidity. No, this is the purging of stupidity. This is what we're doing because that way the former Mizzou athletes who have radio shows in St. Louis of the world
Let's
can
just
realize just how
took us
stupid
long to
their
get here.
defense have been the entire time. You wanted to blame everybody. You wanted to blame the fans. You wanted to blame the boosters.
Give him
You
his
wanted
own
to blame
camera.
the uniforms.
I would've
You
looked
wanted to
at
blame everybody. You don't want to blame. You want to blame players of the past. You wanted to blame the protests. You wanted to blame the politicians. But you never wanted to put any of the responsibilities on the coach. He got his ass kicked by Vanderbilt. Got his ass kicked by Florida. Got his ass kicked by Georgia.
Wyoming.
Got his ass kicked by Kentucky. Got his ass kicked by Wyoming. Absolutely. Go Razorbacks, go Volunteers. Pig, Suey, Pig, and
Suey.
What?
what's the volunteer dog? Go Doggy, Volunteer, go. Rocky Hill Mountaintop, whatever they do.
Rocky Top.
Yeah, the Rocky Top, and Pig, Suey, Pigs. I don't
Rocky
know.
Top ain't no telephone bill.
2 more, Chris.
Rocky
2 more.
Top, you'll always be home sweet home.
I want it to be a
me.
catastrophic failure. So people who just be honest. That's all I'm saying. Chris Gardner has shown me the light. If you have an agenda, just point it out. You wanted to be on this coaching staff. Just admit that. You wanted to be a college football coach and no one likes you. You don't relate to the kids. That's why you don't have a job. Just admit you wanted a job this entire time.
You feel better?
I do feel a little bit better.
Is he singling one person out?
Yes, I'm singling only one individual out because there's only one individual who has actual football experience that's not talking about football. Everything you're talking about, he's a great guy. He's nice. He cooks kids meals. He's a father figure. Shut up. You can't win football games. That's how you measure a coach, if you can win or lose. Well, he beat Florida. They had like 2 quarterbacks. They were on injured reserve. Give me a break.
College football coaches are full of shit anyway.
Yeah, they are.
Here's a quote from Odom after the game. They're not going to blink. I'm not going to let them blink, is what he said about his team. I find that to be quite dangerous.
That blinking's important.
Um,
They get dry.
and I simply quote tweeted that with an image saying, this is from my website, in reality, the proverbial blink of an eye lasts only 1/10 of a second, but that's all the time needed to clear away dust particles and spread lubricating fluids across the eyeball. Every time you blink, your eyelids spread a cocktail of oils and mucus secretions across the surface of the
That's a
eye
lot going on.
to keep your globes from drying out. Blinking also keeps eyes safe from potentially damaging stimuli such as bright lights and foreign bodies like dust. So this simple 1/10 of a second thing protects us. So why would you take that away from someone?
hey.
Doesn't make sense.
Hey.
That's bad coaching.
Hey, we've done some secretions across the surface of eyes, haven't we? Up top.
Weird. Why?
Your high
Why
fives
do I
are
have to
failing
be
lately.
subjected to this?
You chose this life, Chris.
Oh, I think about that.
Well, no, I'm good.
When I'm looking at my feet.
This is all going to look, and then you're right. This is also exposing the rah, brother. We're gonna, they're not gonna blink. I'm not gonna blink. They're not gonna blink. I'm not gonna blink. There'll be no blinking in this football facility.
Now I just thought of Blinken, who was a character in the movie Robin Hood Men in Tights.
I won't be any Blink 182
He
in
was
here.
blind.
Dave Chappelle was in Robin Hood Men in Tie.
There
He
won't be any
was.
Blinky from Pac-Man in here. We won't be doing any type of blinking. We're gonna be Stevie Wonder to this.
Is he blind?
I don't know, but does he blink
theories
if
out
he's
there.
blind?
Of course you'll blink because it protects your eyes still.
Okay, just wasn't sure how eyes worked.
Ah, I think about it. Whoever would have had Dave Chappelle and Carrie Ellis in the same movie together.
Smart.
Interesting.
Jeff Fisher still looking for work, says Triangle Assassin.
Why
Now,
not?
where's
The
Gaines?
Mizzou Tigers.
I would love for Mike Barth, Jeff Fisher, anybody.
Tell Gaines just to tweet that out.
Yeah.
Should I do it and CC Michael Gaines?
Oh, Herm
Say
Herm
sources?
Edwards is still coaching. Bring back Dick Vermeil if that's the case.
Dick, it's probably.
But
84 years
I
old.
think it's
He's making
but just
wine.
let's purge it. Got to
Leave
get
him
it
be.
out. And we also can be done with the Missouri Sons. We can stop that whole thing. They're a son of Missouri.
A true son?
A true son. We can stop with the Kim Andersons and the Barry Odom hires. We can be done with that. We can get that out the system. So next time the next dumbass booster introduces that idea, we can go, shut up, you idiot. We tried that. How'd that work?
Gardner. He says this, and then Brad Smith comes knocking on the door, and he's like,
Brad
"Come
Smith
on,
want to
Brad."
coach. Brad Smith want to coach. He a true son now. Hold on now.
That guy used
Brad
to walk
Smith?
around Mizzou's campus with a Bible. Just
No, don't bring back Brad Smith. I
was-
love Brad Smith. He's probably living a life right now, but
Corby Jones. He had wonderful eyes, by the way.
he did. Very
A
nice
lawyer
guy. I
in
think he's a
Kansas City.
Engaging.
successful attorney in Kansas City.
Engaging eyes.
I don't know if there's
You
anybody
get
that's
lost in them.
Is there anybody out there that you would want to bring back that has Missouri ties, football wise?
Martin T. Rucker.
Andy Reid.
Eddie Reed.
I just threw that name out there. 'cause that's just
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if there's anybody out there that can answer that bell. And as Gardner has pointed out in the past, I probably should have a suggestion of mine if I'm going to have somebody fired.
Well, what'll happen is they'll go get
Lane Kiffin.
Well,
Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin. Why not Lane Kiffin? Lane Kiffin would love an SEC job.
They're going to go and they're going to get the coordinator du jour, and they're going to have a decent and a half season, and then they're going to leave Mizzou, and they're going to take their dream job. There you go.
Take one-
Welcome to the never-ending cycle.
that's what you want, actually, in some ways.
Ultimate Troll Move announced that you've scheduled Kansas football and Les Miles, and you've hired Mark Mangino to coach your Missouri Tigers.
Oh, boy.
I like the Velvet Fog.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, the Velour Fog. The Velvet Fog is
You know what? Thank you, Chris. You just go steal Les Miles from Kansas.
He won't leave.
Yeah, he would. Get back in the SEC.
Nice try.
Get back in the SEC. Oh, yeah.
Les Miles has got to be pushing 70.
Hey, man.
What's
Oh,
Bobby Bowden doing?
you know what? I think, is it? No.
Trust me, you don't want Bobby Bowden.
I don't think.
How did that guy make it out of the 80s and 90s without major sanctions?
Just barely, by the skin of his teeth. By the
Actually,
skin of his teeth.
No, you want Bobby Bowden. I'll
what?
watch from a distance.
There'll be so many people like
See the fire smoldering. Huh?
if that's when I'm Ben Fred or Hockman and going, yeah, I got to fight to the death over Dave Matta and getting that post. You got to get the Mizzou beat. If that happens,
Well, that's not a possibility.
Les Miles become the head coach of Mizzou. I may freaking jump back into journalism.
Yeah. No shit.
What's this? Not journalism. That's for sure.
Hey, boys and girls,
Oh boy.
Oh, I don't like when you do that.
guys, you're gonna like this. You know, we run many races here in this office.
Do we?
Bobby Bowden, 90 years young.
Jesus.
Please start calling for him to be hired.
Jimmy Johnson, 76.
Which one? Which one should we call for?
Like what?
Jimmy's
Which?
hair still looks.
Which is a more ridiculous, want of yours?
Bobby Bowden.
Magic Johnson to replace John Mozeliak or Bobby Bowden to be Mizzou head football coach? Like, which one of these is just
You know what? Crazy enough, Magic Johnson.
still more
It's
ridiculous?
Still more ridiculous
Really?
than bringing in Bobby Bowden ain't the worst idea in the world.
I don't-
Crazier things have been done.
90.
The Marlins won a World Series with Jack McKeon.
Oh, but
last
Jack
do
McKee
we
was
know how his?
114
Do we
years
know how
old.
Bobby Bowden's health is by any chance?
Well, number
just-
one, I need to
The
backtrack.
look.
He had one win vacated from
Golf
Bills.
cart body of Bobby Bowden
Yeah,
is better than Barry Odom right now.
yeah.
Bobby Bowden gets 7 wins with this team. Bobby Bowden gets 7 wins with this Mizzou team. So what's the point?
What
And
about,
how cool
what about
would it
Steve Spagnuolo?
How cool would it be just to be watching on the sideline and the announcers have to ask themselves out loud, now is Bobby asleep or
Okay, I'm looking at a picture of Bobby at his 90th birthday celebration.
how you looking?
Travis.
You looking?
Let's
Can you
not-
put it on the screen at all?
Not right now because
Okay.
I'm looking at an article.
Okay.
I'm trying to just make sure. Look,
Wait, hold on,
when
let
you're
me look it
90,
up. I'll
I'm
look it
wondering
up.
about health.
Okay.
Adam in the comments has suggested
Don't be an
they
Angus.
hire Spags just for the entertainment value, and I let him know that the columns would be renamed the Pillars.
The pillars. Of course. Or he would change his speech up.
Oh boy, I just saw a picture about
How
Bobby
many
Bowden.
columns are there? 6?
I think so. Yeah.
5 or
I
6?
don't know.
So he'd have to add.
I wasn't paying attention.
He'd have to add 2. What was it? Faith, character, core values, team first. I believe. If I did I get that right? Off the top of my head. Hold on. Now I got to know this.
Scout the Buffalo Wild Wings on a Saturday. There are plenty of the Columbia Buffalo Wild Wings on a Saturday. There are plenty of experts making the right calls. Says the Black Sheep.
I nailed it.
What?
Faith, character, core values, team first were the Spags 4 pillars. It's just ingrained in me now to remember that.
You're a pillar guy.
Plus,
If it's Mizzou,
you get to bring the trainer Reggie in, probably, who we always
Okay.
referenced at the beginning of post workouts.
if it's Spags and Mizzou, does he make Barstool one of the pillars? So we're going with Spags.
Yes.
Okay.
Faith, character, core values, team first.
We got a Jersey accent
He
down
took,
pack.
he took
How's-
down Isaac Bruce's
how's,
poster. He took down Kurt Warner's
How's
poster.
so and so hamstring?
He took
Well-
down Orlando Pace's
We got to
poster.
check with Reggie. We'll see how his leg's doing. It's at leg. He's got a leg going on. That's how he always be. It's a leg. It's a hamstring. At hamstring, he's got a hamstring. That would be fun. I'd take it. Put Spags back in my life. I'm
Who
down.
does the NBC pregame? Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy. At this point, I mean,
Aren't you glad you can't say Gruden anymore? Boy, that worked out, didn't it? Or is Gruden on like a 5-year plan for them to move
Oh
to
yeah,
Vegas?
once he's got the Jeff Fisher plan, man. Coach the King for a few years to get him set for the relocation.
Got it.
That's all it is.
I'm voting Spags.
Spags is not a bad idea.
He's a Missouri guy.
He's already with the Chiefs. Why not?
Here we
Why the
go.
hell not? Just to drive on down to Como. Why the hell not?
Okay.
As I was saying before, guys, we run a ton of races around here in the office. We race to the bathroom. We race to the coffee pot. We race to whatever food orders coming through, Uber Eats. But my favorite race is, of course, the Great American Race.
No.
No open.
No.
I just realized that. Just realized
now.
that.
I can't let the segment even happen. I have to read this comment. Jamie Moyer's feeds for in all caps. Biden says he won't legalize weed until it's proved that it's not a gateway drug.
I saw that.
Okay, boomer.
That's how you use it. Okay, I like
that's,
that.
That's how you
That was
use it.
well done.
It's like, I don't know, maybe the fact that no one in the history of the world has ever died of an overdose from
But not only
marijuana.
that, but to go back to the lazy ass.
Chris loses 10 points since
sorry,
we're
Chris.
within the Great American Race.
Oh, that's fair. F you.
Not only that, it's the laziest dare drug comment ever. It's a gateway drug. We knew that was bullshit in 4th grade. The hell are you talking about, Biden? Before we even knew what weed was.
That's
we knew
what Officer Tiny tried to tell me at J.O. Mudd Elementary.
Uh-huh.
Like, I knew that in 6th grade. I ain't never seen weed before, and I knew it's a gateway drug. I was like, well, no, then it would just be a drug. There's no, drugs are drugs. No need to have a gateway to other drugs.
Triangle Assassin letting
It's
us
a
know.
gateway to heroin. Have you ever tried heroin?
Heroin.
All you need is fucking heroin.
Right, he stands on his own. You don't ever be smoking heroin and going, this reminds me of weed. That's what
Yeah.
it's weed
never-
heavy.
Let me go back to weed.
Let me go back to some weed. Let me dibble back. No,
You
it's
never,
not a gateway.
you never slump over at your in-laws' house and go, sure was the weed. Saw some, yeah. How about Triangle Assassin? As old as you all sound, with your injuries, don't race anywhere. That's fair.
My knees are locked up.
Gardner knees locked up. Shoot,
No one's ever died of an overdose of marijuana, but Snoop and Willie sure have tried. Tom Brown.
Shoot, I know Deion Waiters of the Miami Heat.
Oh, man.
Boy, oh boy.
They said, I think he was on a flight from L.A. to Phoenix.
Woo!
Do you know that's like a 52-minute
I'm about to say
flight?
it's like a 25-minute flight.
Couldn't maintain?
Dude! He must have said-
Maintained!
How do you not know? He must have really liked gummies, and somebody must have.
Once a panic attack starts, it's hard to
It's
stop.
hard to stop.
I don't want to hear it.
Best way to do it: jump off a plane.
It actually,
almost tried
it
to
would,
do.
it would cure the panic attack.
Yeah, definitely that.
Travis, the honor is yours, sir.
Well, we play a game every week called the Great American Race, and then I forget how the rules work exactly, and I turn it over to Gardner.
Yeah. So here's how it works. We have a credit score rating, basically. That's why we have the scoreboard up on the screen. Chris starts with 850, which is the highest you can get.
Yeah,
That's my understanding. I've never seen it before.
Nor
That's
have
what I'm
I.
told.
we'll never reach that dream.
Travis starts with 800 due to systematic racism.
Thank you. Somebody had to point it out.
And what each of you do is present a story that makes the other's community not look the best.
No, it does not.
And then I will either add or subtract points depending on the story, how you present it, and also how you defend your own story, and also defend the other story against you. And we, at the end of the month, tally up all the points and see who has the higher credit score rating, and whoever does is declared the winner of the Great American Race. As it stands right now, Travis leads 680 to 640. Chris lost 10 points for Joe Biden's comment just a moment ago. He also lost a number of points near the end of last week when we weren't even within the game.
When 3 white judges
Yeah.
got into a shootout
In Indiana, was it?
in Indiana
Yeah.
outside of a Popeyes.
It was a White Castle.
Oh, White Castles. Oh, I always thought it was a Popeyes.
Yeah, I was like,
Lose
you.
Damn it.
10 points.
I was going to
news.
say, you got mopped last week because of the stabbing at the...
That's right. I had,
So Chris did lead for a while.
yeah.
But we called an audible at the end of the week. So, as it stands, 670 to 640 right now, Travis leads Chris.
All right.
Travis, you want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
Well, Chris, I know one thing. What Breaking Bad did for white America, it showed how they could be sophisticated, methodical drug dealers that will peddle disgusting drugs to their own community, often promoting the killing of children.
In a
In fact, I
Winnebago
remember
in
in-
their underwear.
But I remember in one episode they actually killed a white child.
They killed a kid?
They killed a kid. These white drug dealers. Breaking Bad was.
How'd they kill him?
Shot the kid.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what Breaking Bad did. It
How was
showed
the
how
kid?
white people can be thugs, criminals,
Oh, I don't know.
gangsters,
Can white people be
11.
thugs?
heathens, and a detriment to their community. So, of course, that would inspire two Arkansas chemistry professors
First of all,
who
real
were
quick.
recently arrested for making their own meth. 2 chemistry professors in Arkansas were arrested this past Friday for allegedly making methamphetamine in a story reminiscent of the hit show Breaking Bad. Terry David Bateman and Bradley Allen Rawlin, both associate chemistry professors at Henderson State University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, were taken into custody by Clark County Sheriff Jason Watson. Bateman, 45, and Roland, 40, were charged with manufacturing meth and using drug paraphernalia, according to a press release from Clark County Sheriff's Department. Much like Walter White, they also were chemistry professors.
I only took 30 points off Chris. Travis, I'm taking 10 points off you for the way you said Arkadelphia.
Halls at the University Science Center was closed on October 8th due to a report of an undetermined chemical odor. An initial test indicated that there was an elevated presence of benzyl chloride, which can be used to help produce meth in a lab. The building later reopened on October 29th after third-party testing indicated that it met all recommendations for occupancy.
Okay.
So they closed it down for almost 4 weeks. The safety of our students, faculty, and staff is a top priority, and we continue to cooperate with the authorities. Blah, blah, blah. Fact of the matter is, these white people were whiting, and they was whiting inside the lovely and I would imagine honorable halls of Henderson State University
Harry
10
Henderson?
in
points for that.
Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
Lost 10
First of all,
Like those, that's a white ass like the white ass sentence. Henderson State University in Arkadelphia, Arkansas.
first of all, I'd like to. Are you all done?
Are you done? Are your people done? Because not only are you peddling drugs inside the community, you're now doing it in the hallowed halls of Henderson State University.
Harry Henderson, you.
Everybody knows that you don't disrespect HSU, and they disrespected HSU.
First of all,
Arkadelphia is one of the gems of the Midwest.
you're going to use a state that has the audacity to have a city named Arkadelphia and a city named Texarkana. You're going to use that. That's your big stick. This week?
It wasn't us who came up with the names
First
of
of
those
all,
cities.
Arkansas. And what did you? They were chemists or what were they?
They were associate chemistry professors. They didn't even
Chemistry
have all
professors.
their whole degrees.
Arkansas and chemistry or chemist do not go together.
Well, apparently,
my
it's why
friend.
they arrested.
So you're just making things up now. At this point, this is a falsity. There's no such thing as a chemist in Arkansas outside of the good people at Walmart mixing Roundup for you.
Chris, no.
So I will say,
Maybe if they paid teachers proper amount of money, they wouldn't have had to do this.
well, the reality of the situation is, once again, you are trying to glorify the myth of the white meth cooker, Travis, and that is all
I just saw.
that chemistry
I just
professors
saw 5 seasons
have
of
been
it
portrayed
on
as,
AMC.
and that's where you haven't walked a mile in our moccasins.
That is-
Okay,
I just
Listen.
literally saw a movie called El Camino. It just appeared on Netflix.
the reality is you can't separate TV from reality. Not all white people are like this.
I'm giving Chris that 10
Yeah,
points
it's
back.
kind of a
That's a fair point.
Yeah. The problem here is
It was 5 seasons of white on white crime.
No, but some of the things you watch.
this university could be made up for all I know.
Everybody know HSU.
This is an issue that
Is it
pales in
HBC?
comparison.
Man, Henderson State, home. Everybody know Eleanor Roosevelt went to HSU.
This issue
Yeah,
Let me look.
look it up.
this issue pales in comparison to my story. Travis, I've got a quote for you
Okay,
from the weekend
okay,
from Texas. You guys ready?
okay.
This is over the weekend.
Okay.
Your good friend and the creator of Jesus King, Kanye West, calls himself the greatest artist that God has ever created at Joel Osteen's service.
You've already lost because last time he did a Kanye story, I made it explicitly clear that he had been totally disavowed from the community, and we agreed that he was disavowed from the community. So
I don't
for
think we
you,
agreed with
so
that.
for
No,
you to
we
continue to
didn't.
use Kanye West, that's just
It was in
just poor
Houston.
planning. Period.
Houston.
Joel Osteen Church.
Houston.
Ain't no black people going to that church. We can't afford those
Kanye
tithes.
was.
Well, Kanye ain't normal black people, as we all
I know
said
that God's
before.
been calling me for a long time, and the devil's been distracting me for a long time. He said while standing with the pastor in Osteen's mega church.
He also said some other things.
Yeah, I got some.
Here's a little video.
protecting your kids from the indoctrination of the media, the thousands and thousands of images that are fed to children by the age of 6 or 7. And within those images, there are images mixed in that we don't know about as parents that are purposely mixed in to lower the kids' superpower and esteem so that they can be more susceptible to consumption and feel that they need to consume
Thinking
and
on the
become
fly.
a part of the robotic numeric system.
Pause it.
He's doing the
He's
Michael
literally-
Scott.
So
He's
he
doing
is.
the Michael Scott.
He doesn't
He's
know.
doing the Michael Scott.
You
Well,
can,
there's more.
you can tell
He's doing the Michael Scott.
he's literally queuing up one word. He queues it up.
Travis started doing his, I can't believe I'm listening to this shit phase. And then as soon as he started doing the Michael Scott, it clicked. You knew what he was doing.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I'm
He's
talking
gone-
like
oh, come on. He's not ours.
take an improv class.
He is
Kanye.
not ours, and he should take improv.
Oh my
Sometimes I start a sentence and I just don't know where it
He
ends.
does. He's literally queuing them up. It's going. One goes out, and then half, and it goes.
Wait, there's more to
Oh,
this.
yeah,
This is
let-
good. This is great. This
let's
is what a great
continue.
day.
So much of the media. Because if there's an advertisement for a strip club, that is advertising sex trafficking. Because at the end of the night,
Joel
when they close up, the manager says, "How much traffic do we have?" So, if it's
somebody said,
a
"All
man
right."
that's going through things with his family, or going through
Wait
things
a
at work, and he
minute.
feels
I
he
may
has
have
to
to
go there.
return to Twitter now because of this.
All right.
Oh no, who said all right?
I don't know.
Oh, this is
Let's
too
continue.
smart.
Let's continue. That's exactly that. Hold on. Let's
There's
continue.
more?
Yeah, hold on.
We all end up participating, whether it's the spirits that get advertised to us all the time. Alcohol is, they call it a spirit.
Oh!
So we get constant advertisement for spirits.
There it is.
So okay, I've never once seen a Joel Osteen sermon or whatever you would call the sales pitch he throws out every Sunday.
Oh, damn.
I've never seen that, but I'm guessing he's a pretty elite orator at what he does. Correct?
I think the
Probably.
only way you can
At
probably
that
be as good as
has
he
to
is,
be.
you have to be an elite.
Why would he
orator.
pay for all that plastic surgery and
Right.
those plugs and everything?
Why would you have a TV show?
Why would
if
you?
you weren't? Yeah.
In his head, is he going, was this worth the social media clout from having Kim
you
Kardashian?
realize
and
he's probably thinking that
Kanye.
if you watch the video, because there's several times where he just looks down. So I deleted a lot, took some points off Travis for that. Even though you're trying not to claim Kanye West,
I mean, when Joel
that's
Osteen's
hard.
like,
But I'm taking 20 points off of Chris for Joel Osteen being an enabler of this
Yes.
type of behavior.
He's a white pastor. Yeah, get the white pastor. Yeah, he brought that crap to his church. Yeah, get
So
him.
it's a tight score
Yeah.
right now, 600 to 590. Travis leads Chris. So Chris actually has narrowed the gap from last week. So we go into next week, the final week, with just a 10-point disparity.
But I'm glad these things happen because we expose just the ridiculousness of it all. Like I said, let them speak. Let Trump speak. If he's been
who takes blame for Kim in this situation?
see Kim, at least Kim's smart enough to know
She was there.
to cut back on the talking part. Like sometimes when you have a con going and it's working so well, you don't need to say anything else. Just let it work itself out.
If I
See-
saw a Kardashian coming my way, I'd run.
Yeah, you're like something wicked this way.
That's
I know I'm not your type, but I don't even want you near me.
Think about it. When the Kardashians have a controversy, they barely talk about it. You know what they do? They make it part of the reality show.
Make money off it.
Exactly.
Did you not get the clip where someone says something and he tells the guy to shut up because he's interrupting his stream of consciousness?
No,
No, we didn't get
I
that.
didn't
clip.
see
Oh.
that part.
I look today, maybe the return back. to
Joel
Twitter.
Osteen's like, that's my aunt. He yells at
Strip
Hey,
club.
hey,
they got trafficking.
Did that dude just usually say?
All right.
It was a brother who said, "All right."
All right.
I can't believe our brother. That's like out of an SNL sketch. That is hilarious. All right.
That's like when you and Sam are doing Make
Yeah,
It Racist.
it
together.
is. Go like on cue. Uh-huh.
Like, listen.
Go on now.
See, the problem
Right?
is Osteen, even with the popularity of Kanye and whatever, he just saw the numbers and he was like, all right, this is going to do a lot for my ministries. And, maybe it'll open it up to whatever, blah, blah, blah. The reality is he thought he was getting the famous, remember when Matt Whitener took it to the mountain in a very famous episode of St. Louis Live. He thought he was getting that Kanye. He didn't realize he was getting, he was doing the equivalent of speaking what people do with a finger text.
Right.
Not doing this. He's going.
It's Europe. I hate.
Joel Osteen, are you a capitalist or a Christian?
I don't want to lean
not
too
gonna be
much
both?
more on The Office, but it does remind me of when, like, we've excommunicated Kanye so much. Like, it's when Daryl broke up with Kelly, like when, like, BJ Novak, like, white people are BJ Novak. Kanye's Mendy's character Kelly, and Daryl's the black
See,
community.
but this is what happens.
So we had Kanye, like we really didn't want to be with Kanye, but we had him because it was a plus.
This
And
is what
then
happens
just
when you
got to
cast
a point
people
where we were
out.
just
Oh,
like,
you're
man, somebody,
opportunist?
so if somebody else came along, we were just like, man, he been kind of wilding. So shoot, if white America want to have him, woo, all five back. Thanks, guys. You can have him. Have fun. He's your problem now. So he goes into these churches. He used to do that shit at the BET Awards, Soul Train Awards, MTV Awards. They ain't our problem now. Because now we ain't got to sit up there and defend him. He y'all problem now. He going to y'all churches.
You
doing y'all.
you sat up there and defended him when he did what he did to Taylor Swift.
Hey, man, that was
That was
true.
bullshit.
that was old Kanye. We missed that Kanye.
That's bullshit.
We missed that Kanye.
Why would you miss a rude,
He wasn't
arrogant
rude. He was,
prick
he,
like
he was
that?
just he said the truth at the wrong
Dab,
time.
dab, 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 dab,
Said the truth
dab.
at the wrong time. That's
No.
all I'm saying.
No, that's his truth.
It's
That
y'all
ain't-
problem now. It ain't my problem.
No,
it
he's
ain't my
yours.
community's problem.
He's yours.
He's y'all people.
You don't get to just leave him.
Hey man, he put the hat on. That was it. Once he put the hat on.
No.
Once he put the hat on, man, that's it. That's how you transform, Chris. Tell him,
Nope.
Chris, how
That's
does it
how you
work?
transform.
That's how you transform, Chris.
Is that science
It's
right
science,
there?
man. It's transfer. Boom.
those guys in Arkansas
You
will
literally
tell you
see
that.
the black car like dissipates, like it like
Disappears.
goes. It just yes.
Like Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future,
Yes.
just starts
Just starts to
disappearing,
fade.
you
Yeah,
know?
the black
oh
car
my
literally
God,
fades.
what's happening?
Put the hat on. That's it. We never. Who? Kanye? What? I don't know. No Kanye.
Oh, what a show it's been.
Good times.
Yeah, we're going to have a great week this week. I'm excited about it.
And tonight's gonna be a good night.
What's tonight?
It's Monday. Monday night.
Oh, it's stuffed pork chop night for me. I
Okay,
think.
that'll do it for today.
It's either
Big
that or
thanks
chicken
to
breasts.
all of our partners, our sponsors, everybody else. Make plans for Thursday. We got 2 great comedy shows coming up at Gastro Pit and Sophie's. Big thanks to everybody for tuning in. We'll see you soon.
Peace.